Okay, take number 5. Let's say I'm trying to make a video to explain some of the expanding waistlines project, mainly unit 1 and 2 right now. So let's get into that first question. So here we're just plugging in the numbers that are given. So we're going to plug in 2660 for the C for calories, and we're going to plug in 15 weeks for the T. So let's go ahead and plug those numbers in. So we'll have W equals 165 plus, and we've got 7 parentheses, and this is 2660 minus 2160 divided by 3500. And then we've got our T on the outside, which we're saying is 15. So a lot of this we can do on the calculator now, so it'll be 165 plus, and this part right here, that's going to be 500 times 7, so that's 3500 divided by 3500, so this becomes 1, and then times 15. So the weight is 165 plus 15, so that should be 180. So she will weigh 185 pounds if she eats that many calories a day for 15 weeks. Okay, next one we have Tanisha, and she's going to take in 3160 calories, so we're going to try to figure out her weight. So we have W equals, and we're just going to again plug in the numbers. So we have 160 plus, and we've got 7, we've got 3160 minus 2160 divided by 3500, and then times the 15 weeks again. So that's going to be 160 plus. Now what happens here is that's 1,000, so 7 times 1,000, that's 7,000. 7,000 divided by 3,500 times 15 still. So we're going to end up with W equals 160 plus, and that's 7,000 divided by 3,500, and then times 15. So W equals 160 plus 30, so that's 190 pounds. Okay, now we get into the harder problems, I would say, where we're having to isolate a variable. So we have to solve for C. So let's say right off the bat, let's make it a little bit easier. Let's say that 7 goes into 3,500 500 times. So let's make that 500. So I'm going to rewrite what we have so far then on the underneath here. So we have W equals 165 plus, and I have C minus 2160 divided by 500, and then I have the T on the outside. Okay, trying to get the C by itself, so of course I'll have to subtract the 165 from each side. So that would be W minus 165 equals, and on the right we have C minus 2160 divided by 500, and then we have the T on the outside. Okay, so I will do, let's see if I want to do 2 steps in one here. Let's see, I think I probably do. So I'm going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal. So remember how we do that, where we multiply by the reciprocal? I'm going to multiply by 500 over T on both sides. So both sides I'm going to multiply by 500 over T. And what that will do is that will cancel the 500s, that'll cancel the T's, because that's a T that's on the top, you know, it's like T over 1. So I can do that. So far I'll have 500 over T times W minus 165, and then on the right hand side all I'll have left is C minus 2160. And then if I want to solve for C, I'll just be able to add the 2160 to the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to say C equals, and on the left-hand side I have 500 divided by T, W minus 165, and then I'll have to add that 2160. So it'll be plus 2160, and that'll of course cancel from the right-hand side. So this is what C should be, and just check one thing. So C isolated, and now we're ready to utilize it in the next step. So just write down exactly what I have here so I can utilize it in the next screen. Okay, so first, when would it be useful to do this? So it'd be really useful whenever she has a certain amount of time that she's wanting to lose weight, and she wants to be a certain weight, like maybe she's trying to get down for a certain wedding, and she needs to know how many calories she needs to take in. So that's what I'm just going to say verbally, that she's, she might have a certain weight that she has in mind, and she might have a certain time period in mind, and so she'll need to know how many calories that she needs to expend or take in each day. Okay, now solving this one for T, let's try to get this by itself. So let's first do the same thing we did before. Let's cancel out. 7 goes into 3,500 500 times. So we're going to change our equation so it's a little easier. So we're going to go W equals, same as last time, 165 plus C minus 2160 divided by 500, and then we have that T on the outside. Okay, first thing we want to do is subtract the 165 again. So W minus 165 equals, and so we have C minus 2160 over 500, and then times T. So let's see, what can we do? So we should be on this one, probably we can do a ton of steps at once, but I think what I'll do this time is I'll try to just do one step. So I'll get rid of that 500. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 500. So let's multiply by 500. So that would cancel out this, and that would leave us with C minus 2160 times T, and on the left hand side we'd have 500 and then W minus 165. And now if we're going to solve for T, you'll notice that it's being multiplied by this expression C minus 2160, so you can just divide by that whole expression. So C minus 2160 on both sides, that would cancel that out, and so T equals exactly that, what we have on the left. Okay, so now we're going to be able to use these equations really well. Oh, when would this one be a good idea? So this one would be a good idea if you knew the calories that you were going to take in, and you knew the weight that you wanted to be. You would be able to figure out how many weeks it would take to get to that particular weight that you wanted to achieve. If you knew the calories and you knew the weight, then you could figure out the number of weeks it would take. Alright, let's solve a couple of those problems. So the first one is this gal Mary wants to get down to 150 pounds for a wedding in 16 weeks. So we're going to utilize what we already did. We already solved for, because she wants to know how many calories, so we're going to use that equation that we solved for C. So we have C equals, and this is just what we did earlier, so we had 500 T, or 500 divided by T, and then we had W minus 165, and then we had plus 2160. Excuse me. So now you see that if we have the 16 weeks, which is right here, and we know that she wants to be down to 150 pounds, that those are the two numbers that we would plug in those two spots. So let's go ahead and just plug those numbers in. So that would be 500 divided by 16, and then her weight, she wants to be, what'd she say, 150. So 150 minus 165, and then plus 2160, and that should equal the number of calories that she needs to take in. So let's do the math here. So that would be 500 times, and that looks like it would be negative 15 divided by 16 plus 2160 equals C. So let me grab my calculator here. So 500 times negative 15, that's negative 7,500. So negative 7,500 divided by 16 plus 2160 equals C. So C, so negative 7,500 divided by 16, that's, how's that, that's a decimal, so that would be negative 468, negative 468.75 plus 2160. So then we could just add those two together. So then we add the 2160, and that means, final answer, it would be 1691.25 calories per day. Alright. Okay. So of course we'd say, 1691 calories. Can't really have a 0.25. Can't really have 0.25 calories. Okay. Sorry, that one's a little messy. Okay, last one. She wants to be down to 150. The doctor says she's going to consume 2,000 calories. She has to consume 2,000 calories, and she wants to know how many weeks it's going to take to get down to her goal. So this one, we know the weight, and we want to solve for t. So we're going to use this equation, the one that we worked hard to solve for t. So we have 500 W minus 165 over C minus 2160. So this is the one that we just solved for t a little bit ago. So now we're going to plug in 150 for the weight. We're going to plug in 2,000 for the calories. So let's plug those in. So we got 500. The weight is 150 minus 165. The calories is 2,000 minus 2160 equals T. So grab a calculator, and that's going to be 500 times, and of course that's minus 15. So we got 500 times minus 15 divided by, and this is a negative number, so that's negative 160. Right? And so let's work that out. So 500, okay, so we got 500 times negative 15, and we're dividing that by negative 160. So I get, I don't like to have a fraction answer. Hold on a second. So I get 46.875. So about 47 weeks it would take to get to that weight. So 47 weeks. Okay? So hopefully that helps.